Welcome to online class. I'm Professor Shruti Joshi, Faculty of KLS, Gopte College of Commerce, Belgavi. In the last class, we have discussed regarding the vouching of payment side of cash book. We have discussed regarding the points which is to be noted by the auditor while vouching the items of the payment side of the cash book, and we have discussed some payment side items, vouching of payment side items. We have discussed till purchase of investment. So the remaining points we'll discuss today. So let's begin. So vouching of items of payment side. Items which comes on the payment side of the cash books are like cash purchase, payment to creditors, bills payable, purchase of plant and machinery, purchase of land and building, purchase of investment. So the next point which starts today's class is purchase of patents and copyrights. See, the purchase of patents and copyrights should be checked with agreement. Now, these patents and copyrights are the rights which is reserved for a particular person for their knowledge, for their contribution, right? So, these patents or the copyrights, in order to purchase them, they have to pay some amount. So these will be considered on the payment side of the cash book as the cash is going out of the company. So these should be verified with the agreement, then receipt issued by the seller and the agent's note. So the auditor should see that this expenditure is considered to be capital expenditure. Then the books and the accounts available for vouching these purchase of patents and copyrights are like cash book, patents and copyright accounts. Then the primary vouchers which are available for the evidence or the proof is like receipt and counterfolio of the check, which will be compared with the entries which are recorded in the cash book and the patent and copyright account. And some additional vouchers are also available like copyright agreement, statement of the agent's account, and so on. Okay, next comes is payment of salaries. Yes, company has to pay salary to its employees, right? So the salary of clerks or the employees is entered in the salary register, and the cash book should be compared with it. The auditor should see the persons to whom the payment of salary has been made have signed by the payments or not. Then the salary bill should be sanctioned by a responsible officer, and the payments should be within the authorized limits. If any of the employee has been paid some allowances, even that should be recorded in addition to his salary, and it should also be sanctioned by a proper authority. Okay, then the salary of chief officials like chief accountant or secretary manager should be checked with the director's minutes book, because these salaries which are paid to the chief accountants and the secretary manager will be recorded in the director's minutes books. Agreements relating to their services should also be examined. Then the books and the accounts which are available for recording these payment of salaries are like cash book, salaries account, accounts of the employees. If existing, then only accounts of the employees will be verified. Then in order to check these entries are correct or not, or you can say accuracy of these transactions which are recorded in the books of accounts, okay, in order to verify them, vouchers or the proof which are available is primary voucher will be the salaries register, receipt, counterfoils of checks. Then alternative vouchers which are available along with these primary vouchers are agreements, appointment letter, resolutions of directors meeting, sanction letter. Next comes is payment of wages. See, there is a lot of difference between the salaries and wages. Salaries are the payments, or you can say amount which is paid to the office employees. Okay, and wages are which are paid to the laborers. Okay, so while checking the payments of wages, the aim of auditor should be what? To see whether the payment has actually been made or not, whether this payment was authorized by the authorities and the total amount of wages was correct or not. So internal control system is very important in this regard. Why? Because auditor should study this system in details. If he finds that the system of internal control with regard to wages is not satisfactory, he should inform the client and should suggest steps to improve it. If his suggestions are not accepted, he can be free from his liability. Okay, so on the other hand, if he finds that the system is working satisfactorily, his task will become simple, right? If it is systematic, if system is working satisfactorily, then he can go for the sampling audit also, right? So while vouching the payment of wages, he should consider some points. What are those points? Is first thing is multiplication results and the total in the wages books or the wages sheets are correct or not. Then totals of weekly and fortnightly wages should be compared with the totals of checks written in their favor, and the posting in the journal of the cash book and the ledger should be examined. Okay, so there are many such points are given, you can go through it. Okay, then comes is books of accounts which are maintained for the purpose of payment of wages, recording the payment of wages transactions are like cash book, wage register, wage accounts, and vouchers which are available to vouching process of these payment of wages books and accounts are like wage register, where these payment of wages will be recorded, and tables which are available, and receipt or counterfolios of check. Okay, then comes is interest on loans. Yes, no doubt, organization have to pay interest on loans which they are going to take it from the financial institutions, which they are going to borrow it from the financial institutions like banks or any other institutions, right? So interest is always paid on loans, whether obtained from a bank or from some other institutions. Terms and conditions of loan should be studied from the loan agreement, and the amount should be verified from the receipt obtained against payment of interest. If interest is paid on debentures, rate of interest should be found out from the debenture interest book. If interest is paid through bank, interest books and the passbook should be compared. And if the interests are paid through any internet or computer basis, then even transactions entries can be taken from the bank. So the books and the accounts which are available for these interest on loans is like cash book, debentures, interest book, interest account, and the vouchers will be like receipt, loan agreement, term and conditions of debentures, interest coupons, passbook, and any other correspondence which are available for such respects. Okay, then comes is dividend. That is, returned dividend warrants should be examined for payment of dividend which they are going to pay to their shareholders. Even that is also what the payment where the cash is going out of the organization. So even that should be verified or compared. So returned dividend warrants should be examined for payment of dividend, and if the dividend is paid through bank, dividend papers and the passbook should be compared. The amount of dividend to be paid should be equal to the balance in the passbook, and the books and the accounts which are available for these for recording these dividend transactions are like cash book, dividend book, and the dividend account. Then the vouchers which are available are like receipt and dividend warrant, resolution of the directors meeting, minutes book and passbook, membership registered, and any other correspondence which are available in such regard will be considered. Next comes is directors' fees. See, all the directors will be paid a fees because even they will be contributing their knowledge, their work towards the development or the growth of the organization, right? So even directors' fees will be one of the payment side of the cash book, one of the entry where the cash goes out of the organization. So directors receives the fees for what? Attending the meetings of board of directors. It should be checked with the minutes of the directors meeting whether they have attended the meeting or not. Okay, then the attendance registered and the receipts given by the directors. The fees to be paid to the directors should be found out from the articles of association. If there is no provision in the articles of association, then it should be found out from the resolution of the shareholders where it has been fixed. If this fee is free from income tax, then the auditor should see whether this provision has been made in the articles of association by the general body of the company or not. Then the books and the accounts which are available to record these director fees are like cash book, minutes book, attendance register, and the voucher will be like receipt, bills, counterfoils of check, articles of association, resolution by the shareholders. Okay, next comes is traveling agents commission and expenses. See, agreements made with the traveling agents should be examined. Means there will be some agents who will be working on a commission and they will be traveling from one place to another place for the sale of the product or might be for the promotion of the product of the organization. So for such expenses, okay, agreements should be made with the traveling agents and that should be examined by the auditor. Commission paid to them should be vouched with the statement of the agent and the receipt issued by them. Voucher for every expenditure should be demanded. If there is some business rules regarding payment of commission, then it should also be examined. Then if the commission is paid on sales, it should be on the actual sales and not on total sales. So that is, the returned goods should be deducted from the total goods sold. Okay, then the books and the accounts available for recording these traveling agents commission is like cash book, commission accounts, traveling expenditure account, and the vouchers which are available for vouching as an evidence for these recorded transactions will be like receipt, statement of the agent, traveling expenses, counterfoils of checks, agreement and correspondence. Next comes is entertainment expenses. Expenditure incurred on entertainment to customers and others is necessary expenditure. Okay, but it must be sanctioned by the directors of the company. For small expenses, sanction from some authorized officer such as the manager or the secretary is sufficient. Okay, these expenses should be vouched with the related vouchers. Next comes is freight and octroi. If rail freight and octroi are paid by the forwarding agent, these should be examined by comparing the statement of the agents. Here freight and octroi is nothing but the post which you send or the goods which will be sent through the rail or which will be sent through the airways or which will be sent through the roadways. For that we will be paying the freight and the octroi, right? These payments should be examined by the comparing the statement of the agents and the receipts. If some vehicle has been used for the sale of goods, then the receipts obtained from the owners of vehicles should be examined. Then comes is postage expenses. In big companies, a registry is maintained for postage expenses. When postage stamps are bought, entries are made in this register. Postage stamps used for sending letters are entered in the register daily, and a proper authority of the company should sign the entries. The auditor can vouch postage expenses with this regard. Yes, nowadays they are using the internet to send the mails and all, but still there are some companies are existing which are considering the postages as they are communicating media. Okay, so for that purpose postage expenses register should be maintained and it should be examined with the proper vouchers. Then bank charges. Incidental charges by the bank, discount on checks sent for clearing and interest on overdrafts can be vouched with the bank statement, passbook and the cash book. Then comes his insurance. The auditor should examine the vouching the expenditure of insurance policy and the insurance premium receipts and renewal receipt if the policy has been renewed. Then comes as dishonored bills receivable. Sometimes the bills receivable are encashed from the bank, but due to non-receipt of the payment, they are dishonored. So such bank debits, such dishonored bills receivable should be examined. The bank debits this amount to the account of the company along with some discounting charges and the interest. After receiving this information from the bank, entries are made in the books of the company. So the auditor should examine the passbook, bills receivable registered and the bank statement while vouching these expenses. Lastly, it is payment of bonus to staff. Yes, if bonus will be paid to the staff, okay, whenever the company will be earning or company has earned a profit more than expected one, then it will pay the bonus to the staff during any of the festivals, right? So such payment of bonus to the staff should be examined by the auditor. So for that purpose, auditor should examine the bonus tables wherein are given the amount paid to each employee and the related calculations. Payment of bonus should be checked with the entries of the cash book, and if paid through bank, it should be checked with the passbook. So this is regarding the vouching of items of payment side of the cash book. Next comes as vouching of petty cash book. Hope you people will be knowing regarding this petty cash book, that is day-to-day small expenses will be entered in the petty cash book. Even that should be examined by the auditor. Then what should be considered, what points should be taken into consideration by the auditor while vouching the petty cash book, that will understand one by one. First one is study the petty cash book. Yes, in order to examine the petty cash book, the auditor should study the internal check system of the organization, and he should see the form of petty cash book and he should study the entries as well. Then comes is a check of vouchers. See whether the vouchers on the basis of which expenditure has been made are sanctioned by the proper officer of the organization or not. That should be verified by the auditor. Next, summary of the expenditure, that is whether the petty cashier has prepared the summary of the expenditure for which no vouchers or receipts have been obtained and has got them sanctioned by the proper authority or not. That should be examined by the auditor. Then comes this check of amount drawn. Yes, whether the amount obtained for imprest has been compared with the main cash book or not. That should be checked by the auditor. Then comes his signature. Yes, whether the totals of petty cash book have been checked and signed by the checking clerk and the proper officer from time to time or not. That should be verified by the auditor. Then authorization, whether the authorized receipt have been obtained for payments of more than 20 rupees or not. That should be verified. Then any miscellaneous cash, that is whether any employee has been granted loan from the miscellaneous cash. There is no provision for such miscellaneous cashes, so that should be verified by the auditor. Then more than one miscellaneous account. Yes, if there exist any more than one miscellaneous accounts, their balances should be checked at the same time by the auditor. So this is regarding the vouching of the cash book, which we have discussed regarding the receipt side of the cash book and the payment side of the cash book, and the petty cash book which will be mentioned by the organization for day-to-day small expenses. Okay, the next topics we'll discuss in the next class. Thank you.